What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Let's chat number 9, live streaming versus live shows. Once again, everybody, welcome to today's video. If you got a subject that you'd like to hear us talk about during Let's Chat, leave a comment below. All right, live streaming versus live shows. Now, myself, I've been gigging out live for about 30 years. But recently, because of a couple reasons, one of them being the pandemic, and another being another choice that I made with my life, I decided to not go out and do live shows at all anymore. I was going to do live streaming. Now, when the pandemic first happened, a lot of musicians started doing the live streaming. My thoughts at first were, no way. It's not like a real show. It's just weird sitting there playing in front of a webcam or in front of a few webcams. Then, as time went on, and I realized that in the area that I live in, they weren't going to let us out of any sort of lockdown anytime soon. So I said, okay, might as well give it a shot. Took me quite some time to get a setup together that would work for what I do live. And I've got to say, I ended up loving it. I ended up liking it far more than I thought I was going to. There's actually a lot of people reacting and commenting in real time that I was able to interact back with. I didn't feel like I was just playing in front of a bunch of cameras. I felt like I was doing a real show for all intents and purposes. So, live shows, of course. You're out, you're in front of everybody, you get to see everybody, you get to see the reactions to the music in real time. People are up dancing, applauding, even the people just sitting there kind of tapping their toe, humming along a little bit to themselves. You get to see all of that. And usually, for the kind of shows that I do, you get paid a flat rate of money. Hey, good and good. The drags to doing live shows is people think that you're making all that money. I always think that's funny they say that, all that money, for doing only a 4-hour show. No. To do a 4-hour show is 8 hours or more, depending on the drive. All that gear doesn't get there by itself. You got to load out, load into your van, load out into the bar or pub or whatever, set up, play the show, tear down, drive back. That makes 8 or 9 hours easily. It's a ton of work. It's a lot more work than anybody wants to talk about. So, another pro of the live streaming thing, now that I've got my live streaming room set up, it's actually literally just the other side of this camera, by the way. It's all set up. I don't have to tear it down ever. My cameras and my softbox lighting goes back behind where I stand to do my live looping show. I'm set up in about 15 minutes, not even. And then to tear it down, it's not even tearing it down. I just move the lights and the cameras back over. It's about 6 minutes. I can stream whenever I want. I can stream at a moment's notice. Just, hey, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I feel like doing a 2 a.m. stream. I can do that. I'm my own boss. The only disadvantage is it's not exactly like seeing the people face to face. Yes, you get to see whoever's commenting. People do interact with you. And as well, the only payment that you get when doing live streams is tips. But you know what? You can do pretty good doing live stream with tipping. Now, as well, the cons of live streaming, you don't get a guaranteed fee. But another pro when it comes to doing the live streaming thing, again, I've done live shows for 30 years, and I can say this with every bit of certainty. Now, at least for the type of gigs that I do most of the time, being a working class musician doing primarily covers, that when you're at a bar or a restaurant playing a gig, most of the time, 90%, if not yet more, of the people don't care what you're doing. They're not there to see you. They're there to get drunk. They're there to try and meet somebody to take home at the end of the night. They're there to grab some chicken wings or to watch the game. They're not always there to see you. Most of the time, they're not. The pro is that everybody that is on your stream is there because of you. There's nothing else. There's no other reason to be on your stream other than to be watching you. So that when I see that there was 30 people watching me, there was actually 30 people watching me. I've been playing gigs at bars where there's 30 people that only 2 or 3 of them are watching and paying attention, if that. So with live streaming, I find you get a lot more of a concentration of people that want to watch you play music, not that are coincidentally out at the venue where you're playing music, and they are watching you play music out of their corner of the eye every now and again when they're trying to keep an eye on the game or keep the pints of beer coming. I have a day job. I work 8 till 5, Monday through Friday. I was only a full-time musician up until the point I was 35 years old. Now, with that being said, I was only playing Friday and Saturday night gigs. My Fridays were killing me. My Fridays were 24 hours solid. I would go do my day job for 8 or 9 hours with my break. I would race home. I would load up the van full of gear. I would go across the border or out to the county, set up, play gig, tear down, come back. Before you know it, it's 24 hours later. That is just killing me at my age. Can't really keep up with doing that at all anymore, especially on my Fridays. But I was still doing it until lockdown put all that in the kibosh. But now, because I'm streaming and it's just out of my own little home studio, I can do a stream and have from 7 till 9 during the middle of the week. Because it's not like when you're doing the club scene that all the gigs at the very latest start at 8 until midnight, and I still have to tear down and drive from wherever. It's still way too late for me to have to be up at 6 in the morning to be reporting for work at around 8. Not possible. But with live streaming, I can do 2 or 3 hours. If I'm done at 9, I'm packed up by 9:15. Again, it's not much of a pack up, but it's just so unbelievably convenient. I can play and stream whenever I decide to do so. I can plan it out and have regular days that I stream, or I can just last minute, hey, I'm doing a stream. Very, very much a pro. Now, another pro for the streaming thing, for myself at least, and I'm sure every musician that gigs out regularly doing small clubs and bars and all that sort of thing, like I've done forever, has experienced this. You got a room that's maybe a third the way full to half full at best. Somebody that's 70 or 80 years old comes into the venue and sits right up front, right in front of a speaker. Like, I mean, right in front of the speaker, and then sits there complaining, it's too loud. It's too loud. It's too loud. Yeah. Do you understand how sound and speakers work? If it was too loud, why did you decide to go and sit right in front of the speaker? It's going to be louder closer to the speaker. I need to generate enough sound from these speakers to get sound to move to all the people in the back as well. Another thing that you don't have to worry about when you're live streaming. Again, opinions on this are going to be all over the place. And yet another pro to the streaming thing is this. When you're out and you're gigging, your audience is just the people that are in front of you. Usually, in my case, just local. When you're streaming on all these different streaming platforms, your audience is global. There's more competition, but you're able to get out to even people that are under the age of 19 or 21, whatever the drinking age is in your country, because usually being a club musician myself, I'm only able to play music to people that are old enough to drink and to get into the establishment. Hey, I can perform for people when streaming that are under the age of 19. I live in Canada. That's how old you have to be to drink in most provinces. and or territories in Canada is usually 19. So yeah, I'm able to reach a far younger audience as well too. That is yet another pro to doing the streaming thing versus live gigs. That about does it for this video. If you have a subject that you'd like to hear us talk about during Let's Chat, leave a comment below. Thanks for checking out this video. Do what makes you happy.